An effort to control an invasive tree that is common in this area is underway. A group of volunteers working under the Texas Gulf Region Cooperative Weed Management Program spent the morning cutting down what are called Brazilian pepper trees.
Yeah, these trees were found behind the Port Aransas Community Park and have already dominated other local plants and trees. The Nature Preserve Manager for Port Aransas, who is coordinating the volunteers, says it's important to try and get rid of these trees.
That doesn't provide much biodiversity or variety of plant life for the wildlife that lives in this area. So we try and control how much of it grows by having work days like today where we cut down the trees and we treat them with an herbicide so that they don't grow back.
And Simpson says if the trees are cut down without an herbicide, they will grow back even thicker and will be harder to get rid of. For more information on this tree and efforts to control it, just go to our website.